Ratchet and Clank 2 walkthrough going Commando, and it's kind of weird when you're trying to look up where something is in this game and you search going Commando World 5, and then you get a bunch of pictures of people actually going Commando, and then you're sitting there going, how am I going to explain this to anybody that looks at my history? Anyway, this is Planet Barlow, and this at the end of this planet we're going to be getting to the vendor, which will allow you to buy weapons that you had in the previous Ratchet and Clank game if you happen to play through it. Now you can still buy all the weapons from the first Ratchet and Clank game from this vendor. However, if you've played the first one and your save file is on the same system as the one that you're playing the second game on, then you will be able to pick up all of those weapons that you bought in the first game for free. Now when you are using the collection on the PlayStation 3, then this is extremely easy because your save file is all going to be on your PlayStation 3. I don't know how this works on the PlayStation 2 because I don't own a PlayStation 2. I tried to own a PlayStation 2 for a couple of days, but both of them broke. I don't know how. They were both bought from GameStop and they worked for about a week, and then they quit reading the disc, and I even did the whole turning the lens or the laser so it would read the disc better. Didn't work. They just wouldn't read the disc anymore, and then one of the memory cards got corrupted and I lost all those save files, so that was spectacular. But anyway, at least a lot of the remade stuff is functional on the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 3 so far doesn't seem to have any interest in dying, even though the one I have now is actually a used one. And it's also it's the only PlayStation 3 that doesn't have the automatic CD intake. Like, you have to move the door over to put the CD in, and it's the only one of it. It's the only model that does that, and I don't even think they make it anymore. So, you know, there you go. Anyway, so that's enough rambling about PlayStation-ness. For the enemies on this world, there's those charging ones that we run into, and there's also those sword enemies, which are extremely annoying, and they get worse later on in this game. At this first world, they're not too bad. Those charging guys can be a pain in the rear, and the worst part about this is that you're just going to get attacked by a ton of these sword enemies, and it really reminds me of Serious Sam, and I guess it's a little bit different because unlike Serious Sam, they don't throw ungodly amounts of enemies at you. They just throw a pretty cool amount that you can blow up pretty quickly with the gravity gun, and this is also a really good level to get that gravity gun upgraded. You also get a chance to buy at the beginning this shotgun, and the shotgun is kind of good in some cases. The only problem is the shots scatter so randomly, it's not very reliable, and I think I use it till I get it upgraded, but it gets to a point where it just isn't good anymore because, once again, the enemies are so strong that you have to shoot them 10 times with a shotgun, and you almost can never get close enough to actually hit them with it, so other weapons are almost always better. Now, the enemies on top of those charging guys can be significantly tougher until you can take out the enemy, and sometimes, as you see right there, the enemy on top of the guy will die before the charger does, and the ones on top of the chargers usually have weapons that do a lot of damage to you. Luckily, not in this world, it's not too common, but later on we'll be seeing that. It's kind of cool how you can destroy that glass around those plants here. So anyway, there was some other topic I was going on about, but I can't really remember it. I don't know. So here's another point where we are kind of up high, and it's kind of weird because you think, okay, high ground's good, right? Well, not so much with that because it's kind of hard to aim. And then there's just going to be a couple of enemies that are going after you, and this seems to be a somewhat primitive world, which is a little bit odd considering all the advanced technologies surrounding them in building form. And those enemies, oh yeah, that was it. The enemies have shields, and those shields will take a couple of hits for them, and they will take less hits if you can hit them either while their shields are down, or if you hit them so much that their shields just come off naturally. Now, at the next part of this level, stuff gets a little bit stranger, and it's weird because this seems to be the only level where they actually threw this amount of enemies at you, and there are other places where you are going to be dealing with a lot of enemies, but they're not going to be sending just the sheer numbers that you get in this one. And okay, maybe that's not necessarily true. There are a few where you do get a lot, but we'll see when that comes up later on. This game is extremely long, and I'm just getting excited to talk about the harder levels. I want to get past these easier ones, but there's so much easier levels. And when I say extremely, it's not actually extremely long. 12 hours isn't that long for a video game. but compared to the first one, it's pretty lengthy, and the levels are longer, worlds are longer, there's more worlds, I think, and you have to spend more time in a few of them just so you can get access to the next one. So here is an arena, and this is kind of cool because once you walk into here, you're going to see a big old wave of enemies. Now if you have that gravity bomb, then that's going to be the best thing for you to use here, but as you can see, that was my last ammo, so I had to switch to the shotgun thing here. Keep missing what it was called, and it's kind of best if you just strafe around and try to hit as many as you can as quickly as you can. Strafing is going to be one of the best ways you can attack in this game, and that's just because it keeps Ratchet facing one direction, and you can still move around left or right or up and down. And when you're trying to move around normally, his gun's going to be following with him, so it's just a lot easier to aim when you're strafing. So be sure to strafe, and you'll go far. Anyway, so walk on into here, and then this is where the fender is, and that'll be it for the level.
Excuse me. I think I just blew another vacuum tube.
Should I have a look?
My word! You young people are so fresh these days. Oh, don't feel bad. I guess I'm just old-fashioned about that sort of thing. Did you know that I've been with Gadgetron since the beginning?
So you sell these gadgets?
Darling, they sell themselves.
Try customizing your quick select in the pause menu. A helipack is required to cross this gap. You'll have to find one on another planet.